bring in the rest of our panel. There's a lot of reaction to the murder of Charlie Kirk on Capitol Hill today. I want you to take a listen to what two senators, a Democrat and Republican, had to say.
We are at a precipice in this country when public discourse will no longer be possible, when public appearances will be reduced because of the legitimate fear that a single crazy person can imperil public officials.
And this has already been a concern, considering what happened up in Minnesota. And so I think you're going to see some changes. I think it's undeniable now that we've got to beef up security on every member.
So that's both Senator Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, and Senator Mullen, a Republican from Oklahoma, talking about how horrible things are in terms of security, in terms of not even politicians being afraid to even speak. What do you think?
I think it sets a precedent here for what members of Congress have already been experiencing. We saw that in the January 6th committee. Members were being targeted and didn't have the means to protect themselves necessarily, and so Capitol Police stepped in. I do think it's a conversation that needs to be had about the MRA and how it's used, and maybe it does need to be increased to include security. It's not just about the members themselves. The district
That's the members' budget? Is that
yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, the MRA. This is my Hill
I know.
staffer years.
I'm here to translate for the people at home.
But I think about the district offices. A lot of them are spread throughout the country, and they're not staffed by many people, but they're pretty open. People can just walk in, and that's how we wanted our government to be designed, where you can walk in, ask a question, seek help for things like passports and renewals and different things. But if now they're under attack and fearful and afraid to go to events in their own communities, that's a problem. And it should be a problem for all of us to sit there and think about who is going to step up to be leaders, who's going to want to run for office, putting yourself and your families in harm's way. It shouldn't be like that. We have let our political identities circumvent our humanity.
Yeah, Adrian, I want you to listen to Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was responding to President Trump speaking last night in the Oval Office, and they posted the video where he blamed entirely the, quote, radical left for the murder of Kirk and for all the violence going on, political violence. Here's AOC.
Using rhetoric of vengeance and violence, whether it is a member of Congress, whether it is the President of the United States, to assume and assert and cast blame when the FBI has failed to even apprehend the assailant is absolutely an irresponsible action.
What do you think?
Look, I think both sides have got to take the temperature down. I mean, I wish President Trump last night had used that moment to really unify the country and use his bully pulpit, which is very strong as the President of the United States, the President of the free world, to emphasize that we need to turn the temperature down. We are human beings, Jake, and I believe that, you know, most of Americans live what I call between the 20-yard lines, which is we all agree on most things. We just maybe have a different way of getting there. And politics have just gotten to such an extreme level in this country, and I think it's incumbent on both sides, especially individuals with a huge platform, to just take it down a couple notches. I also want to say something that you said about the members' budget in Congress. I was a chief of staff for about 5.5 years. That was about 15 years ago, but it was not nearly as dangerous as it is now. And the fact that members have to use their campaign budgets to pay for security, it should come out of their official campaign budgets. You also want your office to have a storefront so that members of your community can come in, and it's just a shame that we've gotten to this level.
It does seem, Congressman, as though this horrible tragedy with Charlie Kirk is only balkanizing us more. It does seem like so many Republicans can't see that there is violence coming from the right towards the left, and so many Democrats, not Democratic officials, but certainly Democratic voices or progressive voices on social media, and I'm not equating them, but it does exist and it is ugly, rejoicing. How do you fix it? I'm not blaming you, and I'm not holding you responsible for fixing it, but how do you do this? How do you even accomplish this?
Well, anyone rejoicing about this, it's disgusting, and you know, I'm thinking about the Kirk family today. He was a father and a husband, and I can't imagine the situation and the way that they're feeling today. I agree. We have to take down the temperature. And look, there's political violence on both the left and right, on the extremes. It has been studied. The ADL, the FBI, and Department of Homeland Security 2/3 to 75% of political violence in this country come from the extreme right, but the rest of it comes from the extreme left. And I think we have to, especially in a moment like this, avoid the urge to blame the other side, to demonize the other side. I wish we had a president who could really bring us together in a moment like this. That is not the president we have. So it's up to the rest of us, Democrats and Republicans, to try to do that. I'm going to try to do that with my colleagues in the House, because we have to prevent this from spiraling even further.
Final thought?
Yeah, I just think that, especially on this day, we're reminded of what leadership means. And I do feel as though President Trump has failed to meet the moment yet again. A moment when we need somebody to step forward and unify us, because what happened to Charlie Kirk doesn't impact just Republicans. It impacts us as Americans, and we have to stop siloing ourselves as, oh, you're a Republican, oh, you're a Democrat. We are all Americans, and the fact that we have political violence and that we have become numb to it, that is a huge problem. This is not normal. This is not normal behavior. This is not normal for us, and we should not allow it to be. So it's on all of us, how we talk to one another, how we talk about one another. And any platform you have, I think that's what we need to be doing, is being cognizant of it.
And I think this talk of vengeance is really dangerous. And it's not, from what I understand of Charlie Kirk, and I'm certainly no expert, it's not what he seemed to stand for. He didn't seem to talk about anything other than winning arguments and victories at the ballot box.
Allowing for debate, allowing for conversation. We would want that for everybody. We should all want to be able to have conversations.
All right, thanks to all of you.